Okay, well, welcome back. We'll go ahead and reconvene. If we could have council report out on closed session.
Yes, Mr. Chair. The board approved terms for a lease agreement with Element Materials Technology. Those terms, while approved by the board, still need to be accepted and at least finalized by the other party to the lease. So we cannot report full details on that time. At such time as that is accepted by the other party, information will be available to any member of the public which is requested at that time.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lewin, for that update. I will go ahead and call the order for open session. If Mr. Figueroa, if you want to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilman Figueroa. Madam Clerk, any items to be added or deleted to the agenda?
Not at this time.
Okay, thank you. Now we have the conflict of interest disclosure. Anyone have any conflicts they would like to disclose at this time? Okay, seeing none. We'll move on to informational items. We have item 2A, which will be presented by Mr. Mike Burrows, CEO.
So only a couple quick updates here. The first is Mr. Cousineau. Normally this time of year we would have the annual audit. We're not at that stage at this point, and he'll give you a quick report on it. Mark?
This will be brief. We do not yet have the audit. It looks like it's going to close out this month, however, so we will have it for January. We've completed everything we need to get into our auditors. We haven't heard anything back since that's happened, so we know they're working, and expect to present it in January.
Thank you, Mr. Cousineau.
And then last but not least, in what has become a tradition, the airport hosted again the annual turkey trot on Thanksgiving morning, and another record attendance, roughly 800 runners out there, and it was a very, very nice day. So that concludes our reports.
Thank you, Mr. Burrows. I just want to thank IVDA for hosting and working with the city of San Bernardino and having the turkey trot. So thank you for doing that. Thank you so much. Okay, just for the record, want to let everyone know that Mr. Rigsby from Loma Linda is now present. Now we're on board consent items. Is there a motion to approve?
Move it.
It's been moved by Mr. Charette. It's been seconded by Supervisor Armendariz. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Yes, of course. We have a motion by Member Charette and a second by Member Armendariz. Please state your votes for the records. Member Echevarria?
Yes.
Member Rigsby?
Yes.
Member Lenart?
Yes.
Member Armendariz?
Aye.
Member Baca?
Baca, aye.
Member Figueroa?
Yes.
And Member Charette?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next on the agenda is board action items. We have item number 7, consider adopt a proposed budget adjustments for fiscal year 2023-2024. Presenter, Mr. Mark Cousineau, Director of Finance.
Thank you, Supervisor. This budget adjustment is a net budget adjustment, expenditures in excess of revenues of $354,100. It is comprised primarily a transfer from a general Capital Project Fund 50253, 3rd and 5th Street, of a $3 million that we had allotted to the 3rd Street corridor grant, and we're moving that into a specific fund with that, with an additional $344,100 for our local match. The other items on that are a general fund transfer to SBD Cares, which is Sabia's nonprofit, and we use, or I should say, Sabia uses the nonprofit to be able to engage the public in economic development and educational activities in line with the SBD Cares mission, and that is in support as well as the airport, as we cannot use revenues received by airport operations off-site of the airport. And then the final item is professional services training for $50,000, and that is used as part of our revenue sharing agreement. For the other half of that is increased expenditures for professional services for the training, and we are anticipating additional revenues as well from the professional trainings we've been doing at the UAS Center. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Cousineau. Any board members have any questions or comments? I just want to say, thank you for that updated report, and thank Congressman Aguilar for the Third Street money. I'm glad we're able to now begin to move forward with that. It's going to be a great project. All right, is there a motion to approve?
I'll move it.
It's been moved by Charette, it's been seconded by Supervisor Armendariz. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Yes, of course. We have a motion by Member Charette and a second by Member Armendariz. Please state your votes for the record. Member Echevarria?
Yes.
Member Rigsby?
Yes.
Member Lenart?
Yes.
Member Armendariz?
Armendariz, aye.
Member Baca?
Buckeye.
Member Figueroa?
Yes.
And Member Charette.
Yes.
Thank you. The item passes unanimously.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next on board action items will be item number 8, to consider discuss a report on the Inland Valley Infrastructure Corridor presented by Miriam Beltran, Manager of Planning and Programs.
Thank you and good afternoon. Next slide, please. So at the last board meeting, Mr. Burrows introduced the Inland Valley Infrastructure Corridor, and we'd like to provide you with another overview and update on the progress that staff has made. As you may recall, the corridor plan provides the cities of Highland and San Bernardino, as well as our stakeholders, with an overall vision and guidance and coordination for future infrastructure improvements that are needed in this project area. The area will focus on 3rd, 5th, and 6th Streets from Tippecanoe Avenue to just west of the 210 freeway. Next slide, please. For this project, IVDA will be the lead agency to prepare the environmental impact report in accordance with CEQA's guidelines. It'll evaluate environmental impacts that could potentially result from implementing the proposed projects. Here on this slide, in order to support the future growth and to better serve local businesses and residents, the majority of the infrastructure projects being proposed will incorporate wet and dry utilities. As you can see from this list, we've identified water, sewer, roadways, stormwater drainage, and future smart technologies that are currently developing. Next slide, please. So through the years, millions of local, state, and federal dollars have already been invested in repairs and improvements in the corridor, but there's more to do. And here we have an inventory of projects that are complete, some that are in progress, and some that are slated for the future. By planning, the EIRNL will put us in a better position to seek grant funds so that we can implement the remaining work that needs to be done. Next slide. So here, this exhibit illustrates the locations of where these projects exist within the corridor. The segment in blue is the current 3rd and 5th Street project that the City of Highland is leading. This project is slated to be complete by July of 2024. So again, for the benefit of the area, it's very important that we continue to work with our local agencies and stakeholders so that we can complete the remaining segments. Next slide. Here we have some project images. The first one is an alternative alignment for channel improvements. The remaining 2 are Highland standard cross sections, and these are typical of street projects. Next slide. So the update and next steps is we want to let you know that our environmental consultant, Tom Dodson, he has created the project description for the environmental impact report. The notice of preparation has been circulated on November 30th. It was submitted to the Office of Planning and Research, which is California's state clearinghouse. We also provided a copy to the San Bernardino County Clerk of the Board, and it's also available on IVDA's website. So we do look forward to comments. This period is open until January 16th. We've allowed 45 days from the issuance of the notice of preparation. This completes the update for now, but we will have more to share in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you, Miriam, for that report. Any questions or comments from the board? Okay, see none. Are we to take action or just to receive and file?
Just receive and file.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Burrows. Okay, next we'll move on to item 9 on board action items. Review the status of action item for the Inland Valley Development Agency through December 31st, 2023. Presenter Mike Burrows, CEO.
So this will be brief. Happy December. As Mr. Cousineau indicated, your audit will be waiting for you after the new year, even though it'll be for the past year. But just a note from staff, I just thank you all for your continued leadership and for supporting the agency as we move forward, and a very safe and happy holidays. That concludes our report.
Okay, so no action be taken, receive and file? Okay, thank you. And I believe we can add or deferred items. Madam Clerk, any items added, deferred?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. Now we're to the open session public comment. Are anyone in the public wishing to speak?
We have no public comment slips at this time.
Okay, no public comment. Any board members wishing to comment?
Just Merry Christmas to everybody and Happy New Year. Looking forward to 2024 and wishing everybody that can hear me a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year and a great holiday season. Thank you.
Okay, any other comments from any other board members? You know, I too just want to thank staff for having a great 2023. Want to thank the good work. I value the progress that this agency has made, and just want to wish the public and thank you for coming today. Wish you all a happy holiday, and if there's no further questions, this meeting is adjourned. Next meeting, January 10th, 2020.